We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Okay, I'm reloaded. You motherfuckers think you big time? Fucking with Jay-Z, you gonna die big time. Here come the pain.
Jigga, bigger, nigga, how you figure? Yeah, hey, yo, peep the style and the way the cops sweat us. The number one question is, can the feds get us? I got vendettas and dice games against ass betters and niggas who pump wheels and drive jettas. Take that with ya.
Hit ya, back split ya. Fuck fist fights and lame scuffles. Pillowcase.
Welcome to the Romi and Rose Show. We have my wonderful co-host. Erica Renee Davis is in the house.
I'm back, guys. They actually let me come back again.
We love you.
Thank
Romi
you.
had a work event to do, and she's like, who do you want to co-host? I said, you know what? I heard you bragging for the whole week about how awesome Erica was and how much fun you had. Forgot about me, didn't even say anything. So I said, I want her too.
we gave you a shout out. I shouted you out as soon as the show started.
Thank you.
Time, so, you know.
And I told her, if you can have that much fun with her, then I want to have that much fun with her.
What's up?
So thank you for coming back.
Thank you so much for having me back. I am so excited. Of course.
Yay! And our little fan base loved you. They're tweeting you, going crazy. They're happy to see you back.
I've been having a good time talking with them too. I've met some huge sports fans. You know, I'm a sports girl, so I've been talking sports and talking trash with all your followers. So
Speaking of which, I did a little digging on you. Couldn't find anything bad. I was trying to find some dirt on you, and what I found is that you're a double major, double bachelor. Yeah, okay, smart girl. Not only is she gorgeous and physically fit, but you double majored.
I did. I doubled in journalism and in political science at the University of
Smarty
Georgia.
Pants.
But what's crazy is that I've always been interested in politics and in writing. But when I was doing my major classes for journalism, my counselor was like, you know what, Erica, a lot of your classes are overlapping. So I just went ahead and got the double major.
Why not? Why not? Smart. Okay, so coming off of, you went to UGA.
Yeah, UGA, yeah.
So you were a cheerleader there.
Well, actually,
were you?
I was a dancer. I was on the basketball dance team, and I was a majorette. And a lot of people don't know what majorettes
are.
Yeah,
because Southern schools, right, have a lot of the majorettes and all that stuff. We don't have that out here on the West Coast.
Well, you have a majorette.
We do?
You have a couple, but it's kind of nerdy to be in the band on the West Coast.
Really?
It's really nerdy to be.
It kind of is.
But in the South, if you're in the band, it's you are the cream of the crop.
That's the whole thing.
And that's the whole thing.
Okay, so from there you segued into the NFL.
Then I started cheering for the Atlanta Falcons. I cheered.
What doesn't this girl do? Jeez.
Well, I don't do math, actually. Someone asked me to do a math problem today. I was like, I don't do numbers. But yeah, I cheered for the Falcons. I was there. Michael Vick was our starter. Matt Schaub was our backup. So
you were when they were on it. They were the number one team. They were ready to go.
We were doing it. We lost to Philly in the NFC Championship that year, and Philly went to the Super Bowl. But cheered for the Falcons for a year, and then said,
how is that, cheering for an NFL team and being there with thousands of fans,
literally,
and you were at the time one of the biggest NFL teams in the nation. I mean, that's crazy.
It seems crazy, but I promise you, once you get on the field, you know the crowd is there, but you're so focused on either the game or remembering your routine.
Right.
So the crowd, kind of doesn't really become a factor.
You have a job to do.
Yeah, you have a job to do. But when the crowd is loud, when you score, you have a touchdown, whatever, you feed off the crowd's energy. But to me, they never really made me nervous. It was just kind of like a performance, So
is it true? Because we're a gossip pop culture show that there are these rules where the girls can't interact with the guys, and it's really strict and all that stuff.
It's very true. It's very strict. There's a no fraternization. I can't talk. There's a no fraternization policy.
Right. Because you're doing it. It's work. People don't realize even though you're cheerleading, that's a job.
It's a job. So they discourage you from having relationships with the players, and most people follow the rules, and
most people breaking news. Most.
And it's a good time.
Because you guys are beautiful women, and the guys are hot guys. There's a lot of fitness going on. I don't know.
A lot of footballs being thrown.
Yeah.
A lot of pom poms being shaken. But
so then, what brought you to the West Coast?
I came to the West Coast because I grew up in doing performing arts, musical theater, journalism. I was always wanting to be in front of the camera, but I didn't really know in what capacity. So when I moved out, I got a dance agent immediately and started booking dance jobs. I think I booked a couple of national Target commercials immediately.
Wow.
A DSW campaign.
Yeah, because I looked at your bio. You're like all over the place. Like your Spike TV. You're doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on it.
I mean, it's crazy though, because my parents were so gracious to my sister and to myself growing up. They really afforded us every opportunity that we could ever want. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Big ups to your parents.
You know, like
That's awesome.
the best parents ever. So danced a little while. Then I started booking a lot of hosting jobs, but also a lot of theatrical jobs too. So most recently I did an episode of Tattoo Nightmares on Spike TV. I actually am in the process of producing my own sports talk show pilot.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. When you get that going, you got to come back and we have to have you on again.
It's crazy though, Rose, because my magazine that I created is called The Hottie's Handbook to Sports. And the tagline is The Girl's Foolproof Guide to Game Day. So I teach girls and women and men.
You're like a guy's dream come true. I mean, you know what I mean? Like all these guys out there, especially now that it's football season.
It's football
want
season.
Their girls. People have a stigma of thinking the boys don't want the girls around. They do.
They do.
They want the girls around because they can cook.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. They can bring them a beer. No,
Yeah,
but
true.
it's always fun to watch a sport with your significant other.
True.
And like enjoy that whole day. And I mean, people don't realize once you really learn the rules, ladies out there,
It's fun.
follow our handbook.
Follow my handbook. Every Friday, I release a cheat sheet which basically gives you like 4 or 5 topics that you can put in your back
And where
pocket.
can they find this at?
My website is hottieshandbook.com. We just shot the pilot spinoff of the magazine.
That's so smart.
Which is coming to a major sports network really soon. But the magazine is hottieshandbook.com.
I love that. That's such an awesome
yeah.
concept because the only person that's touched upon that a little bit is only with the apparel, which is Alyssa Milano.
And Stacy Keebler now,
And
too.
Stacey Keebler's doing that. So they made like the jerseys that the girls like to wear, the boyfriend jerseys.
Yep,
They made them
yep.
look sexy.
Yep.
So now they're stepping into that.
Yeah, I wanted to speak on it. That's why we guys want our women and the girls to hang around because the apparel that the NFL has for women are real sexy.
Yeah, they are. They just made that though. So it's a big deal for you to step in and give these girls an insight on how to spend this quality time with their guys. And more importantly, like I'm a sports fan.
Yes.
It's so much fun.
It's so much fun. It's about strategy. It's not just about being barbaric or about beating each other up. It's really about strategy,
statistics,
game planning, stats.
Exactly.
It's a smart person's, enjoyment or whatever. So I really hope that women and men who don't know a lot about sports will find themselves be interested because I infuse pop culture and fashion and music and relationships.
I love that.
hottieshandbook.com.
That's brilliant. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Everybody, please log on. Women out there, whether you know sports, you don't know sports, you want to learn. It's a fun thing to do, even with your girls. Like people don't realize that. Like there's a lot of girls that even have their own fantasy football leagues.
Yes.
It's becoming a full-on thing nowadays. So speaking of sports, since you are a sports maven,
yeah,
the Dodgers clinched the NL West. Like people don't realize what that means to LA.
That's huge,
right?
And whenever I hear someone talk about the Dodgers, I just want to say, I love LA.
Exactly.
That's what I want to say.
And people don't like I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, right? And like our only big time was like Fernando Valenzuela, Steve Sachs.
Yes.
Like you were a baby back then. You probably weren't even born then. I don't want to age myself, but back then was the only time we really had a true solid team. And then when Kemp came on, we had it a little while ago.
Yep.
And it really didn't stick. But how do you feel they're going to do in the playoffs? Because we choke.
Honestly, like this past 3 weeks with the losing streaks here and there, it's kind of made me worry a little bit. At first I was like, okay, you know what? Losing streaks here and there at the end are okay because it kind of grounds you and makes you more humble.
Right.
But now I'm just like,
you're a little worried about it?
I'm very concerned. Like
I am too, because Dodgers do not have a very stellar reputation once they get in the playoffs. It's kind of like they crumble. But do you blame that on, because they have a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Do you blame it on coaching strategy, or do you think players are just choking?
I blame it on a little bit of both.
Each
time Matt Kemp goes up to bat, like my heart, I'm just like.
But he's just so brilliant. I mean, this guy,
he's
still young.
Well,
we have to realize he's only 26 years old.
Okay, that is young for baseball.
He's still a young guy, and the Dodgers team is kind of weird because it is older and younger, and there's no really in between. Yeah. But they do have an amazing coaching staff. But LA needs this.
We do.
We need this. We need them to win.
We don't have the Lakers. The Clippers are creeping on a come up, and we need a team. Well, we have the Kings.
But we do need this. We need baseball. We do need it.
We need this.
People don't realize, like, LA sort of switched into becoming an Angels team when the Angels were hot.
Yeah.
And they won the World Series. And even for a few years after that, I mean, they even changed their name to the Los Angeles Angels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How do you feel about that? Are you okay with that?
I mean, I love the Angels. Don't get me wrong. But being born and raised in Los Angeles, it's Dodger Town. It is Dodger Town. And coming from the 80s when I saw them win the World Series and we had this big camaraderie and it was an amazing team. I mean, you had that moment when you had Kirk Gibson rounding the bases and just doing his whole thing, and it's just iconic. And you know, I want to see that team come back. It's just hard to see them make it this far, to have this whole euphoria and LA be crazy, and then if they get swept, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Oh no, I don't think so. I can honestly say one of my favorite things about watching the Dodgers right now is Puig. I love Puig. He is this is probably politically incorrect, but he reminds me of like a puppy.
No, I know what you mean.
He's like a new little puppy. He's so young and excited, and just to watch him to me, it always brings life to the game. And so hopefully players like Puig and Gonzalez and Kemp can bring that spark.
They brought a lot of excitement back.
Can bring the excitement back and bring that spark and maybe even give them the emotional push over the hill that they need to not get swept.
I'm tired of San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Great team, but we need to move on.
Yeah.
And I mean, LA does need we have the Kings, like you said.
Yeah.
But we do need we don't have a football team.
No football team.
So I mean, all we rely on is our baseball and
basketball.
Our basketball. Hello, the Lakers were like, we're champions.
And the Clippers, because I'm a Clippers fan.
The Clippers are the bomb.
Good. I'm glad you agree.
love the Clippers. I love Blake. I mean, the Clippers are slowly becoming again LA's team.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lakers will always be the Lakers, but I love the Clippers.
We have a little brother in town.
I love them. So speaking of more sports,
yes.
Now that we're rooting for the Dodgers and we'll see how they do, and I'm gonna tweet you. We're gonna go back and forth about that.
For sure.
Mayweather.
Oh, Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather, pound for pound, probably the best boxer in this generation.
You can't really say in history. You can't say that yet.
You got to say in this generation. Yeah. I mean, this guy's undefeated. His father, was his manager, stopped being his manager, came back his manager again.
Yeah.
And although people kind of hate on Floyd, I've seen a big change in the guy.
I agree. You and I were speaking about that. I really think that look back, 5 years, even 2 years ago, he seemed
a little cocky.
Yeah.
Which you have every reason to be.
Little sexy.
I mean, I think he's hot.
Yeah.
And, I don't like boys, but he's hot. You got to give it where you give it. But Floyd Mayweather's a hot guy, but he had some off ring issues.
Well, here's one thing. I was, basically speaking his praises to a friend the other day, and they were like, but Erica, he got involved in the whole domestic violence.
Yeah.
And
that's always a shady area where anybody could say anything. And at the end of the day, outside of that, he's never really been in trouble.
No,
he's been a stellar, guy. He's an exceptional athlete. And what he's done for the sport, I mean, he's brought a lot of excitement to boxing because it hasn't been that way. We thought Miguel Cotto was going to do that. He didn't do that. I mean, we haven't really seen it since like De La Hoya.
Well, and especially now that MMA is such a big deal, you need, or boxing needs a star like,
we need a superstar.
Like Mayweather.
We
do. He's older. He's 36 now, which is old for boxing. He's rocking it. But we need more athletes like him who are going to bring visibility to boxing, or else MMA is going to take over.
And I mean, this one broke records. It broke. I think it was $100 million that he made. And the one thing that I do like about these boxers nowadays is that they're sort of taking out the Don Kings and the promoters out there promoting themselves.
Yeah.
They're creating themselves as a business and a brand.
They are.
Which is smart. It's good for these guys. I mean, Ali and all these other guys didn't have that opportunity to do that.
Oh, no, but let's talk about why Justin Bieber.
What was that?
Why was Justin Bieber a part of Lil Wayne?
I understand Lil Wayne.
Okay. But
reason why is because when you're a boxer and you're going up in there and you're an athlete, you know this, and you're ready to hit your performance, and he has, instead of playing Lil Wayne's record, he has Lil Wayne there.
With him, yeah.
That's awesome. I get that. But I don't understand the Biebs.
I've tried to justify it, and I've tried to say maybe Mayweather is trying to reach out to the demographic and draw in the Bieber
But you know what's crazy? Because I follow Bieber on Twitter.
Oh, boy.
And he tweeted to his fans to buy the fight. Millions of kids bought it.
There you go. Come on. That's it right there, then.
And one thing about Mayweather that you have to understand, he's a businessman.
Yes, he is.
First and foremost, he really is. Mm-hmm. People don't realize that, and they don't give him credit. He's creating a persona. He's creating a business. He's branding himself.
The money team.
He knows it's not going to last, and he's going to take his money team. You know what's going to happen in the next 10 years? Every young fighter is going to want to be on the money team.
Yep.
He's going to be the next big promotional entity in the next 10 years.
I agree.
I guarantee he's going to do that. He's a smart guy.
He is.
And his father's his manager now. And I saw the post interview. He was so humble. I liked him again.
I did too. Like,
it made me like him.
Literally, when I first started following Mayweather, I was like, he's a cocky guy. He's like a cocky SOB. And athletes, when they are at like the pinnacle of their success, kind of irritate me a little bit.
They become a little rock star.
They become two rock stars for me. But his interview, his post interview or post fight interview, and his interview with ESPN before the fight, he just seemed like a much more mature, humble,
I agree,
grounded athlete, and I could actually listen to the entire interview and not be sick to my stomach.
And what I liked about him is that even though he built it up with the trash talking and all that, at the end of the fight, he really gave his opponent 100% credibility. He was respectful. He gave him props. He wasn't like, oh, he hit me, I didn't feel anything. He's like, oh, he got me, a couple times, and he's a great kid. I want to see him in the future. Like, he's such a humble guy. With the exception of Bieber, Mayweather gets an A. I would give you an A+, but the Bieber killed it.
Well, you're kind of like that judge who scored him differently than everyone else. So unanimous decision.
No, he smoked that kid. I mean, he really did outbox the crap out of him. People wanted to see, like myself, a big old brawl and a big fight, but he's probably one of the most smartest fighters of our generation.
Oh, I agree.
So he knew what to do. He knew that if this kid got in, it would have hurt him. So he knew what to do, and he outboxed him.
He did.
He outboxed him. I look forward to seeing him fight again. They're saying that he's supposed to fight Danny Garcia, but I think Mayweather's probably going to save that fight for the 6th fight.
Okay, the final fight of
I think
his
he'll
contract.
fight a couple of mediocre guys in between, and then he'll come in with a really big fight at the end. And I don't see him retiring anytime soon.
Well, so if he fights Garcia, who will you be pulling for?
I'm Puerto Rican, and Danny Garcia is my boy.
I know.
I'm gonna root for Danny Garcia, but he better really train hard because he's probably fighting the biggest fighter of our generation, and to knock that guy out of his seat, I really do feel Mayweather's probably gonna retire undefeated. I really do believe that. I don't think he's gonna do the De La Hoya where he stretched it out a little too long. I think he's gonna retire undefeated. He has that branding. His father is one of the smartest, most acclaimed, managers, trainers of boxing ever. And I think they're gonna team up and do this the right way.
Well, if Garcia and Mayweather fight, we have to have a black Puerto Rican fight.
We need to do that. We need to do that.
And Romi can come be the referee.
Romi, she's her Mexican fighters aren't doing too good lately. We need to get her. Mexico needs to get a big fighter out there. They haven't had a quite a good fighter since I would say De La Hoya, Mexican American, and then Chavez. Yeah. So they haven't had that. So what we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna stop the sports talk. And we're going to get into pop culture. Yeah. And we're going to get into all the juicy gossip, all the fun stuff, the Miley Cyruses, the Drakes, all that.
Miley.
All that fun stuff. So we'll be right back. Romi and Rose Show.
Who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who jewels got blocks, who mostly Gucci down to the blue drop. The same old pimp, Mace, you know ain't nothing changed but my limp. Can't stop till I see my name on the blimp. Guarantee a million shells, pull another up. You don't believe in Harlem World, nigga, double up. We don't play around, it's a bet, lay it down. Niggas didn't know me 91, bet they know me now. I'm the young Harlem nigga with the Goldie sound.
This is Brett Chapin.
And this is Dorothy Dillingham Blue, inviting you to join us every Saturday at noon.
Hey y'all, I'm Shaquem Williams, and I'm the host of The Shock Factor here on LA Talk Live. We broadcast to the world every Friday at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Live music, live performances. We're just live. Chef Momo, Life MC, Diana, and once again, your host, Shaquem Williams. So come join us every Friday here at LA Talk Live, the world-leading broadcasting internet radio station. The Shock Factor. The Shock Factor. Join us on The Shock Factor.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man, who that is?
Shout out Migos, shout out Zaytoven one time.
Drink at the Versace store.
Yeah. Versace, Medusa head on me like I'm Illuminati. This is a gated community. Please get the fuck up the property.
We are back. We took a quick break. We have so much to talk about.
We do. I like that song, by the way. Can they do
I love that song.
Versace?
I love that song. Yeah.
Versace.
I love Drake. We're going to talk about him because I had a little run-in with my dude.
Just like
this past week. So, Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth.
Over.
I need to hear your take on both of these people. Miley, hate or love?
Miley, indifferent.
Okay.
But
Liam?
But you know what? She's doing all the right things.
Ugh.
All the wrong things, but we keep talking
about the girl.
So she's doing all the right things.
You're right. She's in the news every day. She doesn't seem to leave our vocabulary.
Nope.
And every time we think she can do something even more shocking or crass, she does.
And honestly, you know, she looked horrible at the VMAs, but she looks good in her new video on the Wrecking Ball.
The Wrecking Ball, I'm a little like, because I don't find her at all attractive, but I do like her song. I do like her music a little bit. It's what pop music is, so I like it. I mean, there's not much to it, but she's kind of like, it's too much too fast.
Because she's so young, or
and it's, to me, it's like burnout. Like, I'm tired of her already.
Okay.
You know, and it was like when Britney was all up in the mix, it was kind of spaced out. Like, she would give us a couple weeks before she did something else crazy.
True.
And this one's like crazy every day.
That's a good point.
It's like Miley overload.
But honestly, though, Rose, she has been so strategic about whatever she's doing.
So you think everything is like timed and?
I do.
I agree with you.
Like, watch, in the next year she's going to be like in another Nicholas Sparks movie or something.
I agree.
You know, like,
so they're sort of planning out her career, and they're laying it out. I mean, her father was a big star. People can talk all they want to talk about him, but Billy Ray's still around.
Don't break my heart.
I mean, he's still around.
That's my jam.
And he's out there doing some press about his daughter and about, you know.
Oh, geez.
He's being the supportive daddy. But the big news is that Liam Hemsworth,
who's beautiful, by the way,
he's so hot,
so cute.
I mean, him and his brother, and there's one brother we don't see. He's like behind the scenes, and it's like the Thor brother is like super hot, buff. He's like a superstar.
Wait, which one was in the most recent horror Paranoia? Is that Liam or is
that's Liam?
Okay,
Liam.
Yes.
So Chris is Thor.
Okay.
He's like, you know, superstar, like, you know, superhero guy. Buff, the older version of Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Liam's the little svelte, sexy little brother, you know, baby boy looks.
Would you kiss Liam?
No. I am so not that one. But I would watch him kiss someone I was dating. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
But he's beautiful.
He is really
I mean,
cute,
I think he's gorgeous. And then there's the third brother, Mr. Not in the Spotlight. I don't know his name. Still cute. It's like the parents, what they do. These kids are gorgeous.
Perfect parents, except they let Liam become engaged to Miley. So that was the one thing they did wrong.
Now, one thing I do have to say, they were way too young.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to sound like an older person, but who gets engaged at 23? Have you?
Well, she was 19.
Yes.
She's 19.
And he's 23.
And he's 23.
But they're rising stars. Like, why would you do that?
Well, maybe I'm jaded, but I believe that most Hollywood relationships, back to Britney and Justin, back to Jessica and Nick, are products of their management. Like,
setting them up and then putting it together.
You know, give them some couple press junkets. They can do a project together, a song together. Nick and Jessica did a song together, do a couple of VMA red carpets together.
Which you're right about Liam and Miley, because they started in that movie together.
Yep, the Nicholas Sparks.
Then they broke up for a while, and they ended up back together.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, if you're 19 years old, you're gonna.
I mean, he's gorgeous.
And he's gorgeous, and she was cute. You know, she was Hannah Montana. Oh, she was cute.
I'm sorry, but he's way out of her league.
I totally agree. But
physically,
if you're a 23-year-old guy and you have access to, you know, a relatively good-looking Hollywood starlet, you know, you're gonna take your management's advice and
date her
and bang
because it did make him a big star.
It
did make him a big star.
Yeah.
It really did help his career. It didn't hurt him.
So,
you know, and now he's dating Isa Gonzalez.
Yes.
Now, what's suspicious here is they just called off their engagement like 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. And there's already a picture that surfaced of him making out with this girl.
It's because these relationships are not real, people. These are not real relationships.
I'm sort of believing that now.
You know, like,
or they ended a long time ago and they just kept it pushing.
Yep.
For
press purposes.
Just for BS. Because he seems like a relatively cool guy. Mm-hmm. There was no issues with him and her. And I saw when he was on Punk'd, and he had her back when he got punked. He's like, that's my girl, with his accent. I can't do accents, but he's so like gentlemanly like.
Yeah.
And it made me like him even more. So
he seems to be a really down to earth, nice guy. But he's Australian.
They're Australian.
Yes. So my thought process is that he and his brothers are gonna do whatever they need to do to ride this American wave of success.
Because they're huge over there. I mean, they are Australia's superstars.
Yeah.
They are Australia's Baldwin brothers.
Okay. That's a very good analogy.
What was our thing back in the? I'm older. I keep aging myself. I need to just stop.
It's okay. It's better than the alternative.
The ballroom. We don't have any brothers that are acting right now in America that are on that level. Oh, the Luke Wilsons. Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson.
That's fair. Yeah.
Except they're 50 million times better, attractive,
better looking by far.
So I mean, you think they're contrived? You think that it's one of those things where it's all Hollywood? It's BS. It probably ended a long time ago.
All Hollywood. I mean, I'm sure there probably is always a mutual attraction, a sexual attraction.
That they just kind of kept it going.
You keep it going. I mean, Britney, Justin, Nick, Jessica, Miley.
Yeah, because the Britney Justin thing was over long before they made it public.
Yep.
Nick and Jessica way long before it was public.
And that broke my heart.
That broke my heart too. Because I was in love with them on the show.
Me too.
Like, I loved her and I loved him.
We got duped.
But you know what made me mad?
What?
Was that after they broke up, like, I was so heartbroken for Nick because she was a her dad was a jerk. Yeah. I mean, I was like, and now he's gay. I can't call him a part of my community. The daddy needs to stay on his side.
Wait, but is he out of the closet gay?
They like made this big thing. He divorced the mom.
Well, I know, and they
said he was gay, and they caught him with like a lover and all this stuff
or something.
And then he came out and said he was, and then he took it back and said he wasn't.
Okay.
He's just a mess.
Oh.
I think one of his kids needs a hit. They need to stop making babies and sing a song and make him some money because something's not working out for him.
Well, Jessica's making all the money in fashion. It's not music.
She's $150 million. Yes.
Jessica,
on Jessica Simpson shoes and bags.
Can we get a check, Jessica?
Gee whiz, are you kidding me? All because she said chicken of the sea was tuna or whatever.
Well, she's cute and she has big boobs.
I think she's adorable.
Yeah.
Even though she's annoying. But the new girlfriend, have you seen the photo of her?
I've seen the photo of her.
She's gorgeous.
She's very, very exotic, pretty.
Now, one thing I do have to say, Mr. Liam Hemsworth, she's in your league.
Oh, yeah.
Way in his league.
Yeah. Like the whole.
They're gorgeous.
Not to hate on Miley, because you obviously have it out for Miley.
I love Miley. I just really, she needs to kind of like, I don't think she's cute.
She's average. She's just not. She doesn't have the sex appeal.
I just think she's trying too hard, and like someone like Rihanna doesn't have to try.
Good point.
You're just like, whoa, this is me. I'm outrageous. I'm hot. I'm this. She just tries too hard.
I don't think innately Miley is a sexual, an overtly sexual person.
Right.
So maybe that's why it comes across as not being authentic.
It just doesn't come out it just comes out too fake, and she's trying too hard.
I agree.
Speaking of which, Britney Spears inked a 2-year Las Vegas residency.
Ballin'.
Now I have a question for you.
I'll be there.
Do you feel when an artist does that?
Yeah.
That they're at the bottom of they're kind of like descending from filling up those arenas? Because I'm kind of torn.
Okay.
We have one of the biggest stars in the world, Celine Dion.
Yes.
Who's had like a 10-year residency and who's thinking about renewing it.
Yes.
And then we have Toni Braxton, who, regardless of her financial woes, is one of the biggest R&B stars. We've had a lot of stars that have done their residency. How do you feel about that?
I feel like there used to be a stigma attached to going to Vegas. But now I kind of feel like
it's the thing.
It's the thing to do. I mean, I used to feel like that doing that judging reality shows was,
You're right.
had a negative stigma, but now it's the thing to do.
Thing to do.
J-Lo did it, and she has a new album and a new video. I mean, a new
revamped
career.
Demi Lovato's career.
It revamped her career.
Like, I hear a song on the radio and I'm like, oh, that's cute. Who is that? Demi Lovato.
And you sing it and she sounds good, and then you're ashamed, but then you're like,
but then I'm like, I'm down for it. So you're right about that.
So I feel like the tides are finally changing. Honestly, I don't have $15 million, which is what Britney's making a year. So who am I to say that her career is going down the drain? And $15 million.
And to be honest, Vegas is a world stage.
Yeah, it is.
People don't realize that it's a world stage. People from all over the world go to Vegas to visit.
Yeah.
And they're expecting her shows to be sold out for the 2-year duration, literally within the first month.
Well, people have been Facebooking and tweeting about how they're going to buy the tickets, they're going to be there. I mean, of course, we're in LA, so we're a hop, skip, and a jump to
Vegas. Right there.
I mean, when I tell you, I have always liked Britney from a distance, but I was never a huge fan. But now that she's going to Vegas, and I feel like I can appreciate her.
It sparked your curiosity.
It sparked my curiosity, and I would be willing to go. I would be willing to go see Britney Spears. I do want to go.
I've been a big Britney fan for many years.
Okay.
I've seen her in concert several times. And for me, I was a little indifferent. But, I was like, oh, I wonder why she's doing that, because she's still sold out Staples. She still does big things. But I get it. I get it, and I'm actually interested in possibly going to go.
So how do you feel? Like, do you feel like this is the end of her career? Like,
no, I think after speaking with you, I think you're right. I think a lot of these big stars are making strategic moves. It's sort of saying like with movie stars going to TV, it's taking a step down. TV's the new thing.
It is.
TV's like, I mean, you have huge Academy Award winning stars doing TV, bouncing back and doing a movie. So I think this is kind of the same thing in the music world.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
It's not a bad thing at all, and actually might help her keep herself a little bit more grounded because she's not going to have as much, in time in LA. So she's going to have to be in Vegas. She's going to be on a schedule. She's going to be working. And what
I like about it is that it's only a 2-year stint. It's not like Celine, how she did 10.
Yeah.
And Celine's run was super successful.
Super money. She
broke records.
Yeah.
I saw her on Katie Couric. She was talking about what it did for her career and how she's considering doing a few more years.
Honestly, I feel that in 2 years, once the contract is over, really before the contract is over, Britney's going to renew. I think so. She doesn't have anything else to do.
I think so.
I mean,
and she still puts out her little hits with Will.i.am and does her, it's Britney, bitch. And
it's Britney.
And makes millions of dollars. And then, so from one Disney star to another.
Oh, poor little cokehead.
Now, I need, you kind of like enlighten me a little bit on this, but I was super shocked to find out that Zac Efron was in rehab for the second time without anyone knowing.
No, well, I guess I'm more shocked that it was such a secret for so long.
Wow.
I'm more shocked about it being kept a secret than I am about it happening.
I mean, his management did a great job because
Girl,
I'm going to be honest. I watched him on The Lucky One. He's all six-pack, hot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love him in his movies. I loved him in the High School Musical. I'm not ashamed. Like, I love the guy. Like, I'm a fan of this dude. He's so cute.
Yeah.
And it's just shocking that you don't hear stories about him stumbling out of clubs. Probably because he's on coke. But stumbling out of clubs, doing, fights, doing crazy things. And then we find out that it's surfaced that he's 2 times in rehab.
I guess, once again, maybe LA has jaded me. And I'm not, I mean, he's a celebrity. He has access to everything. When you are in the midst of the parties and the fame and the fortune.
You get caught up in it.
You get caught up in it. I mean, everyone's
So you just think he had really good management that kept it under wraps?
I think so. And I feel that someone like him who has kept it a secret for so long, to me, means that he really recognizes that he has a problem. He's not trying to profit off of his problem or make it a
because he has a squeaky clean image.
A squeaky clean image with a real serious addiction. I want to say I almost applaud him for being in his second stint because to me, because it hasn't been public and because he's really trying to take care of it.
So he didn't do the whole like Lindsay, I'm messed up, blah, 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 like for attention. He's handling it as an adult and trying to remedy his issue.
Yeah.
And what sparked the whole thing was him and his buddies were in Vegas at the MGM Grand, and they said he had a cocaine-filled party, and they caused $50,000 of damage in their suite.
Ooh.
So that sort of leaked the news, and then after that happened, he ended up back in rehab without anyone knowing he was already in rehab before.
Yeah.
And I think like what you said, they realized it was a really serious life or death problem.
And Romi and I talked about it when I did the show with her a few weeks ago about Lamar having a crack problem.
Right.
And, you look at people like Lamar or Zach who you're shocked, that they have an addiction. And I look at them and think to myself, if these people who you think are just so squeaky clean can have these major addictions, you would hope that they can come to the forefront and be open about their problems.
How do you feel about Lamar's situation?
Oh, geez. I feel like Lamar he came from such a broken home.
I mean, you even see the daddy when he's on the show. The dad's just like, son, give me some tickets. Give me some new shoes. Give me some money. I want to slap the dad's face.
Give me some crack.
And he just wants the dad's love so bad.
It breaks my heart.
What people don't realize, I mean, I'm an LA, person born and raised, and he went through this a while back.
Yeah.
And what's sad is that I really do think the public eye from the family he's involved in isn't helping the situation for him. And I think it probably spiraled him into a depression where he's just in a whole different place.
And I feel like the public, people, the fans, like people like you, like me, we want to see the Lamar Odoms and the Zac Efrons overcome and triumph over this problem because they look at Lindsay and think, oh, Lindsay's just doing this for attention. Lindsay's just doing this because, she's irresponsible. But I feel like people like Zac and Lamar remind us that some people really are not strong enough to overcome their demons.
Yeah.
And you really want to cheer for them.
I'm still shocked over Zac. Like I really, really was thrown off when I read it. I thought it was a hoax. I was like, really? Are you kidding? Because it was someone tweeted it, and then I'm thinking, okay, this isn't right. I went online, and it was actually true.
Yeah,
and I was a little sad for the guy.
Crack is whack.
Crack is whack, but it's all over Hollywood, like you said. So, getting into some happier news.
Okay.
John Legend.
Oh boy.
One of my favorite singers ever.
What's your favorite John Legend song?
Save Room.
Okay.
What is it? Is that the song?
Save room. Yeah.
Yeah, that song. I love that song. Because I ain't saving nothing for nobody. I'm just kidding. No, but I love that song. I think it's cute. It's like, he's like, save room for me in your heart.
Yeah.
That whole thing. But his new stuff, I don't know. He needs a little bit of help from Kanye. His new stuff is kind of annoying to me.
Girl.
It's too lovey. He's in love.
He's in love.
So everything's like, my love, my heart, I want you.
With Chrissy Teigen.
Yes.
Well, his new wife.
That's his new wife.
Do you think she's cute?
No.
Oh, me either. But you know what? She's so funny on Twitter.
She's funny on Twitter.
She's funny as hell on Twitter.
Now here's the thing. Like, John Legend is, to me, adorable.
Okay.
He's super cute. And I seen him in concert, and he wore some white Gucci pants with the Gucci belt, and he had this really tight top shirt.
Yeah.
Top is for girls. And one thing I realized, he's very sexy.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
about
he
that.
got on the piano.
I don't know about
He's
that.
not as small as you would think because he kind of looks tiny.
Yeah.
But he's very, very, exudes a lot of sex appeal. He's a sexy crooner. Very,
Okay.
and I would expect him to be with a model.
Well, yeah.
And which she is.
Yeah.
But I just don't see them.
Could she be a beard?
I don't know. I don't see them.
No.
I don't see their thing. Even when they're together. Like, I saw them on Access Hollywood, and he's just like, and she's just, I don't get it. I don't see that chemistry.
He is very, well, I've never met him, but he seems to be very introverted, and just judging her from Twitter and her social networking and just watching her.
She's way out there.
She's very charismatic, very funny. I don't see them together because I'm not convinced that John,
Everyone thinks he's a fruit. Everyone thinks he's gay. I don't.
Okay.
I have horrible gaydar, even though I am one.
Okay.
But my gaydar's off, so don't even listen to me. He probably is. But I don't think because I saw him in just the way maybe he sold me like he's supposed to.
Yeah.
I was at that Greek theater and I was just like, I was screaming like all the other girls because he was so he's just so sexy.
He turned you out.
He was so beautiful on stage.
They are a good looking couple together. Whether or not
they're gonna make a cute baby.
Oh yeah, that
baby's gonna be cute.
Yeah,
but she's not all that for me. Like she doesn't do it for me.
She has a good body.
She has a dope body. I mean, she's like Sports Illustrated. She's all over the place.
But yeah, she
has a great sense of humor. But she to me is not John Legend material.
Okay,
she's not on that level.
Okay,
again, he's out of her league.
They got married in Italy,
and they had this like super Italian, gorgeous wedding. Now, apparently, Kanye was there.
Kanye, of course he
was.
was.
Without Kim.
Oh.
Brooklyn Decker was there. He had all his friends there, 125 guests. They had a little bit of their wedding tidbits on TV. She did look gorgeous at her wedding.
She looked very beautiful.
And he looked very John Legend-ish.
What's killing me, though, and
he serenaded her.
Yes, the song that he wrote for her for the wedding, right?
Yes.
It bothers me, and maybe I shouldn't be bothered because it's none of my business, that they have been so public about their wedding, but then LeBron got married the same day. We haven't seen any pictures from the wedding.
Now.
That bothers me.
That bothers me, too, because he is our championship biggest star next to Kobe.
We deserve access to your personal life.
I agree. And it's sort of like, I think because they're big on social media.
True.
And they're so out there, that couple's, and LeBron's a little bit more, kind of quiet with his relationship. Yeah. And they had been together for so long. They have a few kids. They kind of kept on the down low. But he had like a destination wedding, like 3-day extravaganza that I'm sure was bigger than John Legend's.
Yeah.
And they kept it on the down low.
We've seen not.
And LeBron had like Rick Ross at his wedding.
And Beyonce, come on now.
I mean, seriously? You have Beyonce could have went to either one. I'm sure got the invite to both. And she went to LeBron James's wedding. Yeah. Like, why aren't we talking about that?
And why haven't we seen the pictures? Come on.
I agree. They showed one picture. And it was like all fuzzy and not really clear.
Of them kissing, right?
Of them kissing, yeah. And it wasn't like a really clear picture. But I agree. I would rather have been, if I had a choice.
Yeah.
And they sent me 2 invites.
Yep.
Which one would you have gone to?
First of all, I would go to LeBron's because the John Legend's wedding was in Italy. I couldn't have afforded to get there.
But let's say all expenses paid.
Okay.
And you were baller status.
Baller status.
And they gave you John Legend in Italy. LeBron James, I think it was in San Diego.
San Diego. Baller status. It would have been at LeBron's wedding all day long. I mean,
Jay-Z's at your wedding with Beyonce.
3-day extravaganza. San Diego has the most beautiful weather in the country.
I wanted to go just hang out with Rick Ross.
I love Rick Ross.
I love him too. I don't care what anybody says about him.
So ignorant, but I love him.
Keep your shirt off, Rick Ross. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. I watch his videos. I love him. He's my boy. So moving on, since we're talking about all these stars, Rick Ross. Now, Drake. Love, hate, indifferent.
Leaning more towards the indifferent / hate side.
I'm devastated right now. I almost fell out of my chair.
Sorry, Drake fans.
Man.
Sorry.
Well, here's my thing with Drake. Okay, first off, I love his music.
Okay.
And the reason why I do, since I'm a single gal, I sort of reiterate some of his words as pickup lines. Don't tell anybody.
Really?
Don't tell anybody.
Rose, that's kind of lame.
How is that lame?
That's kind of lame, Rose.
No, look. Hear me out. Hear me out. So, like, but not like the new stuff that's out right now. I go retro. Like,
Please,
I'll do like the last album. You take one line from that and you say it.
Like what?
Like, let me. A lot of my Twitter stuff is Drake.
Oh boy.
Lyrics. Like I tweeted the other day. She loves herself for the both of us.
So you go out like to the clubs and say that to
No. No. I'll say it to someone I'm dating. Not even the club girls.
Oh.
You don't need to say much to them. You just buy them a Grey Goose soda. You're good.
Oh, true. Good point.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But the ones that I'm dating, and most of the girls that I do date, don't like Drake. So they don't even know.
So you use his line?
I plagiarize.
You plagiarize.
I verbally plagiarize.
Rose, I cannot co-sign on that activity.
I'm sorry. I love it. And I encourage all you gentlemen and ladies out there, do it. It works.
Oh, boy.
It works. Girls love it.
Oh, well, the thing I can say about Drake is that lyrically, he's a little bit more intelligent than, let's say, a Rick Ross.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah, he's a smart guy.
I mean, he's not, or even though this guy's my favorite rapper in the world, I love, and he's from your state. 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz
is one of my favorite rappers in the world. But he's like, she got a big booty, so I call her Big Booty.
2 Chainz.
I mean, that's 2 Chainz.
You know.
Drake gets a little deeper.
Oh, just a little bit.
He's like, girl, things didn't work out, but I'm here, and and he does the whole thing. He gets all emotional.
See, my thing with Drake is that his monotone is killing me.
It's just
like,
redundant. It's
like,
you want him to feel something.
There's no voice inflection. I mean, I'm just like, really, how many times can you listen to Drake say the same thing a different kind of way in the same tone of voice?
A lot.
I
Three albums.
I want to hear it.
So here's some inside scoop with Drake. His new album drops on Tuesday.
Yes.
He's wearing that sweatshirt, never gonna be the same, or I don't know whatever it is that he's wearing all over the press. But I went to dinner, a business dinner, with some colleagues on Tuesday at this restaurant called Craft in Century City. So I'm at the bar. I'm there a little early. I'm never early, as you know. Today I walked in here by the hair of my chinny chin chin, and I'm sitting at the bar and I see on the corner of my eye a guy with that sweater, and I remember telling my friend, oh, there's a guy that has a sweater. My partner walks in, he's like, Drake's outside, all freaking out, we're like fangirling at this point. I'm like screaming, I'm like sweating, I'm all excited. You know how much I love Drake. And I'm like flipping out, right? I'm like going nuts, and I'm like, oh, I'm at a business dinner. I need to calm down. I need to compose myself. Let me pull it together. So I did. And I went and sat down and had my dinner. And luckily, my table was right across from his. And he was on a date.
Ooh.
Yes.
With, what's the girl's name? Malia, the stripper he talks about.
No.
Tell Malia she should work tonight, right?
This girl, this is why I like Drake even more now. Because I saw, you have these stars and you have this depiction of what they are. And you listen to his, lyrics, like you said. He talks about, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, all these girls that he like, the strippers and all this stuff like that. And then we also make fun of him because he's like started from the bottom. No, you're on Degrassi. Shut up.
Yeah.
So everybody has all these conflicted things. But I kind of got like a humanized version of it because I saw him for 2 hours sitting across from me, and he was being giddy and sweet with this girl he was on a date with. The girl looked like a gorgeous little college girl. She wasn't like big booty crazy, like like supper club at the club kind of girl, or like at the box in New York kind of girl. She was just like dressed really cute, really
probably
chill.
his cousin. It was his cousin.
No, they were like holding hands, sneaking little kisses. She was very pretty girl. And one thing, and I'll get to when I actually met him, but I'm spying on him, right? Because I'm spying on Drake. This is breaking news. I had to like take mental notes to share with our audience. So I'm like looking at him. I couldn't see what he ordered, but he did drink Grey Goose.
Okay.
And
Ciroc. He didn't order Ciroc.
He didn't order Ciroc. He was drinking Grey Goose. And he had a couple drinks at the lounge while he was waiting for his table, entertaining his guests. And then when he sat down, they sat down at a booth together across from ours. And he had like one more drink. He didn't drink a lot. He was very respectful. The girl had no drinks. I couldn't see her with anything. And
smart girl.
They had their little meal and they had their little dessert. And the booth was kind of like a half circle.
Yeah.
And they sat all the way to the end together.
Oh.
So that was really cute.
Well, how did she eat her food? Like, was she like picking at it?
I couldn't tell because like where I was sitting, because our table was circular.
Yeah.
And we made the whole complete circle.
Okay.
I could only see glimpses of when he would like laugh and go back, and then I would see him, and I'd be like, oh, there's Dre.
Oh, boy.
And then I would get all excited.
You know.
And then I had to strategically time, because one of my friends that was having dinner with me knew that I was like going crazy, and even though it was a business dinner, she's like, I'm gonna boss this out for you. She got up, went to go speak with his security, and said, my friend is gonna ask him when he finishes his dinner respectfully to take a photo. And he's like, well, I can't guarantee anything, it's really up to him. But you know, we did the whole nice thing. Kraft is a restaurant in Century City that's tailored for 50-year-old white businessmen. No one cared that Drake was there but me.
That is hilarious.
No one cared. There I am, eating ice, fanning myself, about to pass out because I'm there with my hero, the best music in the world. I recited stuff to women, and I'm about to die. And I was just at the Weeknd concert the night before.
So you just seen him.
And I had just seen him.
Just seen him.
And that was my opening line when I walked up to him.
Oh!
Yeah! I strategized when my friend made the opening to my friend's a big fan and wants to speak with you and take a photo. I said to myself, I need to treat this like if I'm picking up on a woman, because it's Drake. It's like I'm picking up on a woman.
What? Well, because he's
a little feminine, you know.
He's very feminine.
And I had to tap
right
into his sensitivity.
That's smart.
And that's what I did.
That's really smart.
I said,
actually.
Mr. Drake. No, I didn't say Mr. Drake.
You probably were like, Mr. Drake.
No, I was really cool and chill, and I was like, hey man, I'm a really big fan of yours. I'm sorry we didn't want to impose on your dinner. Looked like you were having a really nice time. And he's like, oh, thank you so much for not doing that. Really nice guy. And I said, I was at the show last night. And he said, what show? Because I'm assuming he's doing a bunch of stuff. Okay. And I said, I was at the Weeknd show at the Greek. I go, they didn't let you rap. And he goes, oh, yeah, they didn't have an extra mic for me. I was like, we got all excited. The crowd was ready to hear you. And then it was just like, oh, that was it. But don't trip. I got tickets for November. I'm going to see you at the Staples Center. Biggest smile in the world.
Aww.
Like, nicest guy ever. He's like, thank you so much for supporting me. And I said, do you mind if I take a photo with you? He was like, absolutely not. Come over here. Got to put my arm around him.
Of course.
And then we took one photo. He let us take another one. Totally awesome.
He's like, you got my tickets to November show. That means
he was so dope.
You paid for my dinner tonight.
He was. I actually did, because them tickets were not cheap.
You paid for that date.
He was
Good job, Rose.
So sweet. He was awesome. And the one question you asked me was, how tall was he? And if he was big.
Yeah, how tall? Yeah.
Surprisingly, my image of Drake was like he was probably up to my shoulders.
Like 5'6".
No, I had heels on, and I'm 5'7", and he was taller. He was just as tall as I was.
Okay, so.
And he's honestly, people say he looks funky and weird. He's really cute.
I could see him looking really
cute. He looks way better in person than he does on film or in videos.
Does he have like a big, long, like oblong shaped head? I feel like he would.
No. He has a cute face. He has a very big, since I saw him smile, because that's what I do. I make people smile. And I made him smile.
Yeah.
And he does have a very big smile.
Okay.
Which was a little bit like, I didn't know if he was being genuine or making fun of me.
No.
I couldn't tell. No, I'm just kidding. But I did fangirl when he left. I like screamed and got excited. Yeah. I flipped out. I freaked out.
That's a good fan story.
It was.
That's a great fan story.
And I don't fan out over anybody. Like, if you were to see, like, Drake, honestly, you know this. Everyone at the station knows this. Everyone out there knows. That was my moment. Drake was like oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Who's your one moment?
Oprah and Prince. Oprah and Prince.
Damn, you got some good ones. Here I am with Drake, and she's Oprah and Prince.
Well, Oprah, I haven't met Oprah, but I did when I first moved to LA. I was working as a server, and I served at a party at his house. And girl,
is he sexy?
He is like 5'2", first of all,
but he exudes sex.
He is so sexy and so weird. And the catering company for whom I was working, instructed each girl to not look Prince in his eye.
No.
Yes, girl. And I'm talking about
Wait, but how do you not look someone in the eye?
When he walks by, you turn your head the other way.
You're kidding me.
I turned my head, but then he asked me something.
So what'd you do? You could have gotten fired.
I didn't say. He said to me, I get so excited.
How do you sound? Don't lie.
He sounds exactly like he sounds on his albums.
Like very
like a sex. No, not like more like a sex kitten. Like,
oh really. My God.
He says to me, it's rather dim in here, isn't it?
And what'd you say? You just ignored him.
I ignored him. I had to, girl.
How do you ignore The sexiest man in music ever.
I was struggling. I had to get that check at the end of the night. I could not get fired. I had to make sure I followed the rules.
Because then he could have said I spoke and she spoke back.
Yes. But yeah, that was my moment. And we were there from like 6 that evening until like 6 the next morning. It was like a post-Grammy party.
Oh, so he had he had different people like dinner, then he had the late crowd come in.
Yes.
Did he perform?
He performed.
Oh, my God.
He performed and he changed clothes every hour.
Okay, now
every
that's
hour,
a little much.
I promise. Every hour, a new like outfit with heels, girl. It was insane.
At his house.
It was Stefan Marbury's house, I believe. He was renting his house out.
Yeah.
But at his house.
So okay, you didn't think by Prince changing every hour that's a little much?
I'm obsessed with Prince.
So that's part of him.
I think that Prince and I are soulmates. Seriously, I think
he is one of the sexiest men in music.
We are connected at the soul, and so
actually, I can't think of anyone sexier than him.
Prince has got it, girl. Hands down, Prince.
Okay, now I got to ask some Prince questions without getting you compromised in your position.
Okay.
Now, better in person or not?
Performing?
Sexiest, like looks wise.
I mean, I don't look at Prince. To me, Prince is like your parents. Like, you can't say anything bad about him.
Yeah, you're right, because he's Prince.
He's Prince, so
I mean, you can't.
There's nothing.
And
bad
I've
about
heard him perform, so I already know he killed it.
Oh yeah,
because he's
he
amazing.
Did. Yeah, he performed amazing. I think he and like Sheila E. She performed as well. Amazing in person. I don't look at Prince's face and say, oh, he looks
he's
good.
Just like a light.
He's
like a force.
It's Prince.
Now when you saw him interact with people, how was he?
Very weird.
Did no one look him in the eye?
I mean, all the celebrities that were there, of course. But
was he kind of like awkward? Because I would think he's very shy and introverted.
He's very much he prances around like a small like wild animal or something.
Really?
Like just very like dainty and just like a little.
I'm so intrigued by the story.
Like a little thing. He's just so cute. He was just like a little. It was Prince.
It's Prince.
Like I have all of Prince. I have Prince albums that you've never even heard of.
So now, if you had a choice of an evening with Prince to get to know and interview, because if you had a choice, you had an option to interview Oprah and to interview Prince, who would you pick?
It would be Oprah. It would be Oprah because I am pursuing a career in online hosting. Well, not online. Well, hosting, on camera hosting, and she would be the person.
She's a big mentor. She's like someone you would look up to.
She'd be like.
She got her own damn channel.
My own network. Yes. Prince. I love you. I've seen him in concert at his house and at the Coliseum as well. But Oprah all day. Prince can't do.
That's pretty awesome though. I honestly, like, to say you were in Prince's presence.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with his godlike. He's like that kind of guy.
He was. It rocked my world. Like that was like one of my first LA experiences. Like everything else from there was just like downhill.
I seen him perform at Staples when he did like 4 shows in a row. And my sister's a really big Prince fan, so I joined the fan club just to be able to get the pre-tickets for her.
Okay.
Which I did. And then I went to the show with her, and it was an experience.
It is.
But one thing about Prince fans, such as yourself, they are obsessed.
Oh, yeah.
Like crazy.
It's crazy. Like, I'm not the girl who's going to like pull my shirt up and like try to get his attention. Like, I'm the girl who like listens to every song, A-sides and the B-sides, and I can recite every lyric. And
you're a true Prince fan.
And I find like the spirituality in every lyric. Like,
we have a lot in common. You're Prince, I'm Drake.
Okay.
They're two godlike men.
Okay.
No, but I'm looking forward to his album. I know you're not. Because
Versace.
You say like a lot of it sounds, which I agree with you. But I'm this album I've heard a little bit of it. He has a really good song that I love called Pound Cake with Jay-Z.
I've heard that
and
song.
I like that because Jay-Z brought a little bit of oomph out of him.
It sounds more like a Jay-Z song than it does a Drake song.
It actually is Jay-Z and like Drake starring in his song.
That's exactly
I agree because
what it is.
anything Jay-Z's on, he's gonna punk the other guy out.
And I think Jay-Z does like 2 whole verses and Drake has the opening.
He has
and
the opening verse and then yeah, I agree with you.
So
now, do you watch Dancing with the Stars?
I do not anymore. I watch like the first episode and maybe like the big elimination episodes towards the end. But I don't.
Now I was at home, relaxing, and I thought, why not? Let me watch the premiere, so I could talk about it. I was very surprised by Snooki.
See,
because it could have went horribly bad.
Yeah,
and she went out there and she worked it.
Yeah,
Snooki'd it. She did. She killed it.
GTL.
She GTL'd all over that dance floor. Her footwork the judges were so surprised. They were just all about it.
Well, you got to think. She's ethnic.
People don't realize she's not Italian. She's Peruvian.
Yeah.
She was adopted.
She's ethnic. So, I mean, not to feed into the stereotype, but I mean.
You know who really was the number one who almost got all 10s, their opening mark?
Who? Corbin.
No.
Who?
I can't stand. That kid needs to go back to Disney. He's so annoying. I'm glad he cut his little fro, though. He looks cuter.
He looks better. He
looks way cuter. The one who stepped in and like did a great job, Amber Riley from Glee.
See, I trust you on that.
I mean, she came out and she gleed it, but she's on Glee.
She's on. Yeah, see,
I mean, it's like.
And that's what the controversy has been, that Corbin is a High School Musical star.
Yes.
And then the Glee girl.
Then the girl from Showgirls. Same thing, killed it.
They're like, all these people who are in Dancing with the Stars were already dancers prior to doing the show.
And you know what's interesting when they interview them? Like when they interviewed the Showgirls star, Elizabeth Berkley.
Yep.
She's like, well, I haven't danced since that movie 20 years ago. Yeah, right.
She's a liar.
She has like a six-pack. She's all fit.
Liar.
Then they said the same thing to Corbin. He's like, yeah, after High School Musical, I just kind of been acting and come on.
Yeah, no. They've got to say that.
And you're a dancer. Let me ask you a question. Yes. You're a trained dancer.
I'm a trained dancer. Yes.
If you were to stop for 10 years and they were, you still work out, you still do your thing, but you stopped dancing and they were to put you on Dancing with the Stars, would you excel?
Yeah, I would.
You don't forget that kind of stuff, right? The fundamentals.
Your body has muscle memory. It might take you maybe an extra practice or two, to perfect it and to get it to the standard that you like to perform it. But I mean, honestly, if you've danced from the age of 3 or even from the age of 6 or for any long period of time, you're gonna get on the dance floor with the right teacher and the right workout and the right training regimen. It's gonna come back.
See, the reason why I put this subject in here is because you are a dancer.
Yeah.
And I want to know if I'm being duped.
No,
because I'm watching this and I'm cheering for these people. Like with Amber, I got so excited.
You're being duped. You're being duped.
I got played.
But it's entertaining.
I love it.
It's entertainment, entertaining, and I mean it's fun to watch. It's whatever.
Now Leah Remini, who was the sitcom star who is notably known for leaving Scientology, brought her best homegirl. Yeah. J-Lo was in the audience.
J-Lo, yeah.
Now talk about dancer.
You know what I'm saying? So it's these people are maybe actors first at this point in their careers, but once you've danced for an extended period of time, you have that in your body. So you're being duped, but
I'm being duped.
But you're having fun watching.
But you know what kind of upset me? Athletes have always been amazing at Dancing with the Stars. We've had some great, even Warren Sapp killed it. I mean, we have had some athletes that have really excelled. Keyshawn Johnson did not. I was so sad because he's a USC boy.
Oh yeah, he is.
And I love his personality, even though people don't like him. I think he's funny. I love watching him when he does his commentary, how he talks about people. He's just a nut,
Yeah, he's
a little wild. But he went out there and he was 2 left feet.
Yeah, I mean,
he just did not do it for me.
It just doesn't happen for everyone.
I mean, and it's hard. People don't realize how hard dancing is.
Well, I mean, you would think that. I think that most athletes excel in Dancing with the Stars because the fans they bring in a different demographic that might not normally
millions of fans
watch. All of the NBA or the NFL.
But Emmitt Smith won the trophy. He was amazing.
But he was good.
He was really good.
He was good.
I mean, he was fun to watch, and you as a dancing professional, he had technique, right?
He developed good technique over the course of the show. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he came in there hitting all his moves
Amber Riley came out there, and she got all 9s across the board.
I mean, not
and
surprising.
Snooki got all 8s or 7s or something, but she did good.
She's real cute too these days, Snooki is.
So I'm going for, just so everyone knows, I want Snooki to win, even though I don't think she's going to. But that's my person.
I'm gonna pick I'm gonna say Snooki.
I say Snooki. I want Snooki to win, and I think she's gonna win because she has all those millions of fans.
She does,
and she's gonna be doing her JWoww show is gonna be airing kind of simultaneously.
Yeah,
and people don't realize this is fan driven. It really is.
Oh yeah,
until it gets to the end.
I feel like even once it gets to the end,
you think it's fan driven?
I mean, because you got to think they have to sustain that wave of popularity after whoever wins, and the fans are not going to respond to someone they didn't want to win.
I agree.
So I mean,
it's just I like that it's an eclectic cast. I mean, you have Glee, you have those fans, you have Snooki, you have Valerie Harper. They had Bill Nye the Science Guy, the worst dancer ever.
See,
and he's like a weirdo.
Well, he's a science guy.
He fit that bill because that guy is like a creepy dude.
I mean, sorry, science nerds out there.
And then when he's dancing, he's all looking at the girl like all creepy. I was like, oh no, I went to go watch something else. I wasn't down with that.
It's like science. It's like science porn.
Before we leave, I always do a little segment. Romi's into fashion, as you know. You were here last time. Yes. I'm into dating.
Yeah.
So I needed to ask you a question.
Yes.
Because my friends come to me for dating advice. Don't ask me why, but they do. And this is one of the questions that I was asked.
Okay.
Is it okay for someone your friend liked but never really dated? Is it okay for you to date that person if they're interested in you?
I think there are a couple contingencies.
I want to hear this.
One being, how close is that friend to you? So how close is the friend who liked the person? Is it your best friend? Is it a bestie?
Let's say it's besties. Let's say we're besties, right?
Like bestie, or like you're my homegirl from like we were 3 years old.
No, like besties. Like we go out to the club every so often.
Okay,
we hang out. We go get our nails done together. We'll go have lunch every once in a while. We go shopping. We go to a club, and then there's John Doe. He's really hot. He's cute. You say, oh yeah, he's cute. I think he's cute, but he's interested in the other friend.
Okay,
and then how does that? How do you feel that plays out?
I feel like if I'm hanging out with you, if I'm getting my nails done with you, getting my hair done, going to get drinks, then that probably means I know a lot of your intimate business.
Yes.
So that to me means that kind of relationship, pursuing that relationship, would be off limits. To me,
I agree.
To me,
I'm with you on that.
Now, if it's like a girl that you see or talk to maybe once a month,
then it's like 6 weeks, it's marginal.
Then it's fair game.
For me, I feel that there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Yeah.
And that if you have a friend, whether it's a social friend or an in-depth, friendship, if your friend happened to like someone, I'm about the dibs thing. I'm old school.
Okay.
Like if they call dibs on something, then it's off. It's off for me.
Good point.
But I do have one friend of mine who I just want to slap over the forehead. And if she's listening, she knows who she is. But she says she likes everybody. She's one of those people. Like I thought she was cute. No one could talk to her for 20 years. Now that's annoying.
No, you can't do that. See, you can't like that friend. You have to set up a special set of rules for that friend.
Yes.
So those friends who try to like put dibs on everyone, they're in a category of their own.
I have a friend that does that.
Well, so she this conversation does not apply to her.
I'm like, you need to bring it down a few.
Conversation is like, has that friend ever dated anyone long term?
No. She always keeps constantly kind of getting bypassed.
Okay, so there you go. So she's in her own little category. So these rules do not apply to her. So if she calls dibs on someone, everyone else can feel at leisure to take
But in
that
a club setting, you're with your girlfriends. Yeah. You're in a club environment, and then the guy, she's like, oh, he's cute. You're hanging out, social, first night out.
Yeah.
First time you've seen the guy. She thinks he's cute, but then he goes for someone else in the group.
Okay.
Is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing because it happens.
I mean, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. I mean, honestly, like if you're meeting someone in the club, girl or guy, gay or straight, it's the club. Like they're just there to try to get some anyway. And then
that's what I'm all about. I go to the club. I'm there to get some.
You're not trying to get married or anything.
No, I'm trying to have a good time.
You're trying to have a good time.
Have some fun.
So
meet some new people. Go on a couple dates. See what's up.
If you just want to bang somebody, that someone else down the street is gonna be like, yeah,
exactly.
I'll bang you.
So everyone out there, our consensus is it depends on the friendship.
It depends on how close you and the girlfriend are.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I'm very old school. So if my friend says, "Oh, I thought that girl was cute," even if it's 10 years from then, I still won't talk to her.
Oh wow. So,
I know.
Yeah, that's super old school.
I'm super old school. I'm all about and then I also feel this way. There's so many girls and guys out there.
True.
That it's like, ugh, why even bother? There's someone else.
True.
Unless it's Drake.
No, I'm
just kidding.
You don't want Drake.
No, I don't. I want his girlfriend, the one that he was having dinner with. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe she's watching.
Thank you so much for being on the show. You're gonna come back. We love you.
I love you guys.
We're gonna bring you back.
Fans, like your Twitter following and your fans are the best.
But what I need, and we're gonna make this happen. We need you to be on while Romy and are on here together.
Okay, I'm
because
down.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna be the judge between us two because we fight so much. So I need you to be. And now that I've built some rapport with you, I feel like you'll probably side more with me than with her.
Okay, well,
we'll see.
I'm taking the fifth on that.
I'm trying to win you over.
Taking the fifth.
Let everybody know where they can find you on Twitter.
Yes.
Do you have Instagram?
I have Instagram.
Facebook, everywhere.
Everything.
Tell everybody.
My Instagram and my Twitter are both Erica, ERICA, Renee, RENEED. Erica Renee D. Twitter, Instagram. My website is hottieshandbook.com. HOTTIES handbook.com.
Please, everybody, go on that site and support that because that's like amazing.
Yeah. And make sure you like our Facebook fan page, hottieshandbook.com, Facebook.com/hottieshandbook.com. So
thank you so much for being on the show.
You.
We love you. Everyone, please follow her on Twitter. Please follow her on Instagram. Like her Facebook. Get her tips on the Hotties Handbook.
Get my tips on sports, fashion, fitness, anything pop culture that's sports related. I got it. I got you.
And she will be back soon with Romy and myself.
Yes.
Together.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We love you. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me. Things I don't understand. Sometimes I need to be alone. This don't kill my vibe. This don't kill my vibe. I can feel your energy.